Hey, this is Sin Kieran from Siglos, and you're watching Band Chat.
Hey, welcome back to Band Chat. If you guys are coming here for the first time, man, thank you so much for stopping by. If you guys have been following us the whole time, you fucking rock, man. Thank you so much. My name is Bonnie. I'm the lead singer for Innocence Torn.
I am James Freemuth. I'm the lead guitarist and band therapist.
Tonight, guys, we have a very special guest for you. We have the folks from Sick April from Tri-Cities, Washington. Everybody say hi. Yay! Guys.
Hi.
You guys introduce yourselves to everyone. Let us know what you do in the band and a little bit about yourselves.
So I'm Summer. I'm the vocalist of Sick April.
I'm Zach, and I am the drummer.
Very
He's
nice.
also our tech magician.
Yeah, the nerd.
We all have one. We got Tanner. So, guys, you guys and us, we played this last year over at the Tin Hat. We had such a good time with you guys. Very, very talented band, and we kind of wanted to talk with you guys a little bit about that. You guys are from Tri-Cities, which is kind of I don't know. It's like
Kennewick, Pasco, Richlands is the
cluster.
Yeah.
So forgive us both. We're getting over massive colds, as you know. I had to reschedule because I haven't been feeling well. But okay, so you guys just recently released Poltergeist. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, so that was our first single that we recorded at Amplified Wax. And it's the first song of like a group of 4 songs that we'll be releasing. Is it 4 or 5? I'm bad at math.
I can't keep track either. They've got a whole storyline.
Yeah. So it's the introduction to like the whole story.
Cool.
It's very cool. We got a chance to like check out the video, which I'm gonna try to play right here. And I was actually really impressed. I think my favorite part was the red door. Like, you guys got a red door in the middle of a forest somewhere. That was just amazing. Why don't you tell us the process of both recording this and then what it was really like to get in front of that camera, because I know it's two totally different things.
Yeah.
It definitely is.
You want to start with the studio and I'll talk about the video?
Yeah.
All
So that was the first time that we've ever been to Amplified Wax. It was really different than any studio we've recorded at before. It's also the first time I recorded in our current lineup, but we've actually had a bassist change since then too. So that was really interesting. But it was a great experience. We really got to work with Jimmy to help us put our song together, which was very cool.
And he did an awesome job of making it sound
it.
really, really good.
Yeah, the recording process, we're going through it again. And, it's not as easy as people think. It's not like you just walk in the studio and all of a sudden that first take. I mean, if I had $1 for every F-bomb I dropped, I think we would have paid for our session for sure.
Yeah.
So what was the best part of being in the studio? I mean, for you?
For me, it was being able to watch that song come from our minds and what we thought it could be, and then get opinions from somebody who works with so many musicians. And then it was almost like having another band member, because he was like reading our minds and then just creating a real piece of art that we were really excited to show everybody.
I think it's rad when you have like a story in your brain and then you go to your engineer and you're like, okay, like, and the funny thing is, because most of them.
So did you guys like create a song on the spot in the studio, or did you have a basic foundation?
Oh no. Yeah, we wrote it probably like 3 or 4 months before we took it in.
Gotcha. So
it's probably the quickest song. When we wrote it, maybe 3-4 days, and it was in its final form, and we didn't have any tweaks we wanted to make to it.
Yeah.
It just flew right together.
Nice.
Well, I mean, I think there's something to be said about not fucking it up. And what I mean by that is, like, sometimes it's just perfect in its raw form. And like, the more you try to tweak it, the worse it becomes. And it becomes a mess. Sometimes the simplest form of what you're trying to get at.
That's my problem.
Yeah. Oh, is he overthinking it?
I think that happens.
Oh man, I am like, we could add more details. And
this guy. Yeah, I totally understand that. So, I mean, so that was relatively quick that you were able to like get the thing recorded and then get yourself out to the video.
Yeah.
It kind of, it took us a little bit to get to the music video. I think we had it planned, but it took us a while to get it done.
We had several like story building meetings. And I think it was 3 days of filming. So it was 3 different locations that we filmed in. We actually took the living room of this basement and made it into like the space where I'm like laying in the bed and it looks like a creepy like haunted house. We like made the whole living room into that. We constructed the door that we put out in the woods.
Yeah, my whole house smelled like spray paint because I did it in the unfinished basement, and I didn't think about the whole house smelled like red spray paint.
You guys and us, we have that in common. We did the same thing with Bloodspill, and it was one of those things that we actually shot, filmed, and edited ourselves, mainly just to get something out there. We had a blast doing it. We did it in our bedroom. I was running around a forest in a park down the road in my pajamas, which
the cemetery in Camas. We had a lot of different locations, but we were able to piece it all together so it looked like it kind of came from one area, but it was several little areas, and the storyline was kind of building as we were videoing it, and it just was going off the charts. The first place we went to, we couldn't shoot there. We're all in our makeup and stuff. We show up and there's like 200 people and it's this giant funeral procession going on. We're like, this isn't gonna work. So we had to think on the spot. And so we ended up several miles across a bridge in another state, and we're like, this is perfect.
As we can relate to you guys in that sense, because we are currently going through the same process. Where we're building a storyline for our next video, which we're shooting here in like 2 weeks.
March 16th?
Yeah, March 16th. We're starting to shoot it. And I think people think that that's an easy thing too. And you've got like 4 minutes to tell an entire flipping story about something and then trying to cut that down to make it make sense. I think you guys did a really great job of that.
Well,
I think that you told your story.
Martin Scorsese, you're doing a music video, not a movie. And then like kind of what we're running into is too many ideas. And it's just like, we want to spend 2,000 or do we want to spend 10,000? Well, I mean, it's just, so yeah.
And especially when you're self-financed,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think the thing we struggle the most with making a video is trying to make visual elements that tell a story effectively that's also not confusing. Right. So we were like showing it to people, like, do you understand what's happening right now? Does this make sense?
We kind of went through the same thing. I completely understand that. And the video part of it, I have a very creative mind. So for me, like I could just tell a story in a million freaking words when I have to like shorten everything I do. So I can I'm at fault for that. Yeah, sorry. So how long have you guys all been together as a band?
So Tanner and I have been playing together for like 10 years. We met when we were both like teenagers. We've known Zach for 7-ish years.
I joined a little quick jam session with them when I was in high school.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, can I come drum with you? And then it came time they needed a drummer, and they're like, hey, what about that one kid that came over? And
I messaged him, was like, hey, do you want to drum for us?
And I was like, yes.
And then Evan, our bassist, I actually work with him, and we've only had him for like a couple months, really. Not very long at all.
Yeah, I've been in the band for about 2 years, I think.
Yeah.
Two and a half, probably.
Wow. I mean, you guys have really come a long way in getting a new bass player. That's pretty crazy. Like, boom, all of a sudden. But then again, there's something to be said about the chemistry of, when it just starts working, it really starts working, so.
Absolutely. And we're lucky to have very talented musicians. So it's like everybody's able to pick up on each other. And it's.
How long have you been singing for?
I was classically trained at like 6. Oh, wow. So I've been singing for a really long time, but I used to sing classical music.
Actually, he was classically trained too, and there's something to be said about people that are trained that way.
I didn't have a choice. My mom was a professional classical musician. That's what she did for a living. So when I was born, guess what? She was playing for the Portland Philharmonic and the U.S. Marine Band, and she had her master's degree in music and also taught at 2 schools. So I had a trumpet and trombone and drums and guitar and all this stuff thrown in my hands, and had like a full scholarship in music by the time I was in the 8th grade. But my passion switched to metal, as I got into like 11, 12 years old, that's when I started going for Beethoven and Bach to, oh man, this Motley Crue album is pretty cool. And it just
I feel that.
So I like, what are you guys up to? What are you guys up to now, besides now that you've just released that? I mean, what is your next goals? What are you guys going to be doing this summer?
So we have several shows for the summer, or the spring into the summer.
Yeah, I think we're going to play with you guys again this year.
Yeah,
I'm excited for that.
Yes, it's going to be great. And then we're also working on doing a few home recordings, self-recorded stuff, and then also getting some more songs out to Amplified Wax so we can release those. Nice. And then just kind of, we're really enjoying making content right now and like interacting with our audience, and so we're focusing on that too.
Yeah, we're new to trying to do the whole social media thing, and me being very anal, I'm like, oh, let me buy this camera and like let's do all this stuff, and so it's a big old learning curve.
Yeah, it's funny. He can be like very technical and very like picky about it, and then I'm like, Zach, there's a dumpster exercise bike. Can I ride it in the video? And he's like,
for real.
It's like, hey, let's put this camera to use.
Yeah, you know what? We're really getting into the whole technology too, and it's changing like all the time. I used to do this social media thing for a living, and in the time I've been out, boy howdy, everything is completely different. So, with the podcast, the first podcast, the lighting wasn't awesome. The, audio wasn't awesome. But I'm one of those people that like, okay, so the very next one, we got a new camera. We went out and got new, now we all have, our own. I've even got like I've even got a thing over here that you can push the button. It'll start applauding for you, or a little
cool.
Or smack you in the ass is what it sounds like. and I'm just impressed. Like, it's so much fun to be able to do this. But I mean, there is a way to do it, and there is a formula to be had. And whatever the hell that is, it just keeps changing all the time. So I kind of get where you're at.
Even things that I talked about when we were at the studio about how we would release the song. Yeah. I think half of those ideas that I had that I learned aren't not even a thing. So,
and sometimes the things you don't expect to do well are what does well. So
that's the other thing, learning your audience and like, okay, what actually is jives and not just spamming people with stuff. How do you make content that's more like actually engaging,
and that represents us, because I feel like we started off taking ourselves like really seriously, and then we were like, okay, but are we really that serious of people?
Right.
And so
no, I think that's
got to find your band chemistry, and what is that? What is your band? What are you trying to sell?
Well, there is something to be said about taking yourself seriously. This is a job, whether or not you love it or not, you have to treat it like it's a job. You get paid. You know what I mean? Like, come to see you. They spend the money on the tickets. This is definitely, well,
the better your product, the better you get paid.
Yeah.
So there's that dark area, where you're just like, 15 people showed up. F my life.
And it is really hard. It is really hard not to be serious all the time.
It's those that don't give up and just keep, striving. So, I mean, being a perfectionist, there's nothing wrong with that, because that's what it takes, honestly. So
it's true.
Yeah, that's why we try so hard to make sure our live sets enjoyable and well put together and tight, and like our merch looks good.
I'll be right back. You guys go ahead and talk to James. I'll be right back.
No problem.
More, of course. So,
but I like the fun thing. No problem. The fun thing about, I think that we enjoy spending time with each other is that we also can like play around with each other, even though we write music that's like serious music. And so we just wanted to also be able to share that part of us being a band.
Jody.
Oh.
Yeah, weird, right?
Okay. What's he doing?
I don't know. I don't know. Okay. I'm so sorry about that.
Sorry,
no, it's okay.
We're popular when we don't. Yeah, sorry. Anyway, so where were we? You want to poke your head in here and say hi?
What up?
Wait, you remember Sick April, don't you? From Tin Hat?
Oh, you didn't. Did you go to Tin Hat?
Yeah, he went to Tin Hat.
Did you?
Yeah. I don't know if I can get you in the picture, but
mystery human.
Out in the middle.
No!
Oh,
dang!
Save.
We're gonna have to cut this piece out. Now is a really good time to go to our sponsor.
There you go.
Nothing about this podcast ever goes exactly how we plan it. Trust me. If it's like somebody's phone goes off, or like the kids, or like the dog. Oh God. Are you guys parents?
No. Yeah, no.
Hey, wait till after you get it. Wait till after your career really, kicks off before you guys decide to have kids in your life, because having to really balance that out is kind of a trip.
Yeah.
So, I mean, where do you guys plan on going from here? What is your I know you guys probably want to get out of Tri-Cities and get out and explore other places. We'd love to have you here in Portland or Vancouver. I know we've talked about that in the past. I'd really like for you guys to come. I think you guys would have a great audience here. And I also think that we have a support network unlike any other place, really. So we're always here to support and do whatever we can for each other.
Yeah, we definitely are trying to put our presence out there.
Yeah.
That was kind of our main, I think one of the big objectives with why we chose Poltergeist to record and doing the music video. We wanted to really come out strong, given that that was our first thing that we have out as Sick April. You know, we wanted it to really show what we can do. So yeah, we're just trying to grow, get more shows, and let more people see us. And
what he's not telling you is that it's world domination we're after.
Yes.
Nice.
Okay. Us too, boy howdy. We'll be taking over the damn world together. Guys, I mean, who writes the music? I mean,
we all write together.
I should say, let me take that back. Who writes the lyrics? Who wrote the lyrics for the song?
I do, yeah. I write lyrics.
Nice. I don't know what was going on in your brain, but it was dark and sick and fucking awesome. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you. No, that song.
Do you have a core writer? Do you all contribute on the musical aspect?
Pretty much all of us.
We all write together. We have big writing sessions. Oftentimes we record while we write so that we don't lose things.
Sure.
And we just all hang and write together. Yeah. Usually I can get them to. They'll write music and then I'll write lyrics.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah, because I've tried to write lyrics, man. I've tried to write, like, I had a set song, it's all done, and then these guys get together, and now I'm like, son of a bitch. Like, nothing I wrote goes at all with it.
Yeah.
So for me, lately, I've just been kind of hanging back.
Believe it or not, we've had some songs like Rain that came together in like 3 minutes. So usually I come up with the basic rhythm, guitar rhythm, or whatever, and then everything kind of builds off of that usually. So, and sometimes she'll write lyrics and I'll hear it in my head,
Exactly. That's what I was just about to say. Sometimes she'll send us just a voice memo of some random line, then I've got the drum rhythm that goes to that,
right?
And then it's like, hey, here's the drum rhythm. Oh, Tanner, what do you think? And then, Evan, what do you think? And then just.
Do you have a Tanner also? Did I hear that?
Yeah, our guitarist.
I'm so sorry. No.
It's always the Tanner, I swear it. It just is. Oh my God. Well, yeah, man, we kind of know exactly where you guys are sitting at, in the sense of, like, we really wanted to put out the best stuff, but we're a totally different band than when we started out. So with that stated, like, the stuff that's coming out now is this generation of the band. And God bless my past bandmates, because we wouldn't be exactly where we are if we all hadn't met and done what we did. Yeah. So I have a lot of respect for them, but at the same time too, it's just a different vibe.
We've evolved, and the songwriting has evolved as well. And we put in a lot more time too. We're minimum of like 3 days a week, and we're doing 3 days a week plus an extra day of choreography, and then, then we do like the band chat things and then video stuff on top of it. So it's become like a full-time gig. It's like a second job, but it's something that we love. So we've had really good payoffs, but we've had some huge sacrifices too, and a lot of work.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's what just makes the difference from those who make it and who don't. Is if you're really committed and you're going to put the time in, it's going to suck, but ultimately it pays off, but it's always getting harder though, so it takes those who really want it, And
it's hard to stand out with just how many, especially with social media. It's hard to stand out on social media, in that realm.
Piece by piece, little by little,
Yeah.
It's
consistency.
But social media is very important. I can't state that enough. If you're following small, you just keep hitting it, getting your stuff out there, get those algorithms going, videos, whatever, get your stuff tagged to other people, all those shows, like, you don't make a lot at first, but as time goes on, you start making more and more, possibly at some point, maybe get management or, get under an agency.
Go for agency.
But do your research, because some are good and some aren't so good. Sometimes it costs you a lot of money and not give you what you want. So that's my.
Well, at the same time too, there is something to be said about just bringing in that new guy, and always being worried about what's in the social media realm or, you know, the music scene, how they're going to take to that new person, because it's very funny how people get very attached to one specific group member, you know what I'm saying? So, but it sounds to me like you guys have really just kind of broken that mold and you kind of restarted yourselves in a really big way.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like we're a completely different band. And it's definitely been that there's people that have followed us for years that are like, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah,
we're like
who are you?
Yeah, we're missing people that you probably remember, and music is very different than it was before, because we were kind of like a hard rock band before. And now, I mean, I'm doing screams, things are heavier. People are like, why are you screaming? And I'm like, man, I want to.
Every song we write just gets heavier and heavier and heavier.
So well, actually, you know, you've got that very operatic, you actually have a really beautiful metal voice. I mean, you're kind of like an Evanescence with, and if you're going to start putting in some screams in there, which when I first saw you, I was like, she's amazing. Like, she's really talented. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys are doing on that platform. Again, we would absolutely love to play with you guys again. I know we are sometime this summer. But we'd like to bring you on our side of the world and have a little bit of fun over here. I think you guys would probably really love it here. Yeah. And, you know, speaking of social media, I just want to tell you that you don't have to. I used to think that I had to have like 1 million follows all the time on a constant basis. And the truth of the matter is that some of the folks that are out there, and not a lot, but some, those are just not authentic. When you, like right now, you authentically have 1,200 people that are following you. That's a lot. That's a lot. I mean, every single one of those people, you know, took the time out of their day, checked you out, or they're huge fans, and they clicked that like button. There's something to be said about that. So, you know, when you're getting these follow to follows and you're trying to keep up with everything, just keep in mind, man, it's that 1,200 base that's really, really going to accelerate you. We're not too much further. We're about 2,900 right now. And part of that is because I just can't keep up. I'm tired.
It's hard.
It is.
But, I mean, having a smaller audience, there's that part of having that I really enjoy is that like there's people that I see all the time that I know their faces. I have them added personally. It's like, okay, well, most of these people are my friends. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So I think that's really, really cool right now with the size that we are.
Yeah. As far as like the, you know, band's presence in the social world, I really take to heart the objective of cultivating an actual, I would stress, fan base, not just, oh, these are people that like us, but really take care of the audience and identify what their needs are in the content we make, how we show up, and not just people that buy sales, or buy tickets, but community.
Yeah, look, we want to make people happy and enjoy what they're seeing and like to really connect with the music that we make.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd have to agree with that too. We have a great philosophy that, you know, people actually suit up, show up, and pay to come in and see us.
Right.
And I don't think there's a bigger honor. I really don't. I mean, we get pictures of people wearing our shirts in the middle of nowhere, and we're like, oh, it's so beautiful. You know what I mean? It really just is a beautiful feeling to have that kind of support and admiration. You know, when we start seeing people over from the UK and Germany that are following us too, that's awesome. It's overwhelming at first, but it's awesome because now you're thinking, well, we're not sure what you guys are looking at because you haven't seen us live. You know? So,
but they do. That's where video comes in because you can also get good live footage of shows and so forth too. That's one thing that we have plugged in there, and that's like where we got I can't think of it as Jark from Germany or whatever. That's where he was able to see it, and then you know we got Valvo from Pakistan, and you know we got some really strong followers from around the world, and it's all those little things, pictures like afterwards. Whenever we've done a show, we go out and we mingle no matter where we are, you know, and have a lot of fun, and we get to meet everybody that's in the audience, and that's huge, I think, you know, because you get it's a great way of networking. And then we get pictures of that too. Like, can I get a picture with you? You know, and you're like, oh yeah, sure.
I think I stopped waiting for people to ask me for pictures, and now I'm just like this selfie whore. But I mean, I want to make sure that it's really important that you.
More of a selfie
it's really important that you kind of show your audience that you give a shit about them. I see you. Like, I recognize you. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, that's kind of like when the people are out there, that's like their, 30 seconds of fame for them, because it's really, you get a lot of people out there trying to get away from the world. So I think production, like when I'm I had people, they've seen the show and they're like, oh, you're such an egotistical ass. And I'm like, well,
Chris Record.
I'm playing a part, I'm up there, I'm playing James the rock star when I'm at home. I'm pretty normal, got the baby, kids, my life sucks like everyone else, got to do laundry, whatever. But when I'm on stage, that's all behind me. I'm up there and I'm putting up a character. And then when I'm going down and meeting people, they kind of live vicariously through that. And I don't take that lightly. So everyone has a lot of fun, and I think that's kind of a big thing. It's myself, I think it's good to figure out what kind of rock star do you want to put on stage, because it's not just the music, you got to sell your music, but it's almost good to create some kind of a stage performance, whatever that is, and we can't all be the same, so you got to be yourself, and everyone's got different ideas, and that's what makes it cool.
Yeah. So I think that's what makes fans draw to specific people, whatever the personality it is that they have on and off stage is why they'll pick one specific person or
person
that they really connect with.
And then we also, our music, the connection part, I'd like to write music that connects to things that have happened to me and things that I relate to, and that I'm like, well, I know somebody else needs to hear this or feels that, and they need to know that they're not alone in feeling that.
Right.
So that's
very personal.
I've got a storyteller like that too. Mm-hmm. So speaking of social media, we've only got a few more minutes left, so I just want to check in and tell us where we can find your brand new video. Tell us where we can find you on Facebook, all your socials, and where you guys are going to be in the month of May.
Sweet. All right. Yeah. So on Facebook, we are just Sick April. On Instagram and TikTok, we're Sick April Band. And on YouTube, we are Sick April. Mm-hmm. And you can find our video on YouTube, and you can find our single on Spotify and Apple Music and pretty much anywhere you can stream music.
Really everywhere.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
And then we have sickapril.com, which is probably the hub for
everything.
Any of the info that you need on the band, the shows coming up, merch. If you do sickapril.com/poltergeist, then you get a landing page with everything you want poltergeist.
Nice. Also, if you guys are on Facebook and you get lost, they do have a link tree on there. So they got all their links all in one spot, so you can find them there too. So one last thing, do you have any advice for anybody else that's watching you who may or may not want to be in your place in the future?
I think that the biggest piece of advice that I could give would be to practice and make sure that you like how you sound, and also to write from a place that's honest.
Yeah, from the soul. And then my tidbit of information, or I don't know, advice totally lost the word, is just, even when you lose the motivation, or you just have the thought of, maybe it's not worth it, it's not working, it's not going like I want it to, just tell yourself shut up and keep going. If you're really in love with music, just keep it going.
Yeah, we are our own worst critics, that's for damn sure.
Oh yeah.
Well, you have your good days and your bad days, you have those creative days, and then you have those ruts, or the weather's out there. So many things can affect your equipment. Simple like temperature change and this and that. Just like, I'm just not feeling it. But the next time you come back in, it's magic. So like you said, you just keep going through it, and the uglies and all that actually is what makes it so great in the long run. If it was all perfect and everything was given to you, it probably just would not be that cool.
It wouldn't feel the same now.
Right?
It's the struggle that makes it worth it in the end.
It does. Guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And Poltergeist is fucking badass. I'm going to do everything I can if I can't get it in the podcast, and I'll at least link it below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, Sick April. And while you're at it, ding, 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 like, subscribe, comment, share. And we can't wait to play with you guys again this summer. And
I can't wait to play with myself. No, I'm just kidding.
Only on Bandchat, I swear to God. All right, you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys being here. You guys have a great night. Thank you.
You too. Thank
you guys.
Bye.
Summer.
We had such a great time hanging out with Sick April tonight. Don't forget to go check out all of their links. I'll link them down below. You guys are not going to want to miss out on next week's show. We've got the one and only Sin Kieran from Sigalos, guys. You're not going to want to miss that. 8 o'clock next Saturday night. But don't forget, tonight, 7 p.m., our brand new single from the upcoming 2024 album, Broken Jaws, comes live. You guys can get it anywhere you can download music. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. We'll see you on the next episode. Until then, take care. Let's go!